You're welcome back. Now, the National Union of Local Government Employees NOGE in Rivers State says it is not true that the state governor Siminalayi Fubara met with the leadership of the union over the recent Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. The president of NOGE in the state, Clifford Paul, said this in an interview.
This information is entirely false and baseless. The governor did not call for such a meeting, nor was any meeting of such called by any of his aides. No directive to contravene Supreme Court ruling. The governor has not issued any directive, either verbally or in writing, instructing any individual or group to act against the recent Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy. The governor has always respected judicial decisions and supports the rule of law. The recent Supreme Court judgment is no exception.
The NOGE president, however, urged the public to disregard such claims because the information is entirely false and baseless.
I want to applaud the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for ensuring the true judiciary, the actualization of local government autonomy. Let me state that even before the Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy, Rivers State is the only state that has been exceptional among the states of the Federation in the actualization of local government autonomy. If this is the only state that the governor, the present and the past administration that has not tampered with our funds, salaries are paid as at when due.
Meanwhile, a group, G23, has criticized federal lawmaker Ikenga Ogochinyere and the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Dan Wayanwo, for their involvement in the political crisis in Rivers State. Members of the group cut across the 23 local government area of the state. Its leader, Tony Okocha, at a media briefing in Port Harcourt, alleged that Mr. Ogochinyere and Mr. Wayanwo were hired by Governor Fubara to escalate the political crisis in Rivers State. Mr. Okocha also criticized the Rivers State Attorney General for aligning the state government's stance with the G60 lawmakers' position in the appeal court judgment. He urged them to stay out of Rivers State's political affairs.
Why does he speak despicably of Wike, a man that has shown and proven himself in all ramifications of life? How? Because he has to do the bidding of his master, because he needs to justify the filthy lucre that they give to him, and then he abandons his state, abandons the people that elected him to the green chambers, and is interested in Rivers State. So we use this opportunity to condemn in absolute terms that attitude of him, and those who he flaunts as his colleagues. We will no longer tolerate it.
Mr. Okocha said the political crisis could have been avoided if Governor Fubara has heeded his advice.
After 40 minutes of discussion, I went to him where he was seated in his office and held his knees, and I pleaded with him that there was need for us to come back to how we started. That is an Ikure man for you. When the Ikure man holds your knees on a particular matter, it invites you to be circumspect. It is a solemn thing. So after I did that and he continued, where has that taken us to? And I said that the president offered a lifeblood. My advice to him is that he should be able to confront his fears in a manner that would depict him as governor of a state, not to begin to hire from outside. The man you bring from outside will destroy your home.
Our correspondent reports that Mr. Kocha also called on the National Assembly to pass legislation empowering INEC to conduct local government elections in Nigeria. In the meantime, the coordinator of the Grassroots Development Initiative GDI Iche chapter, Ihaichukwu Irebu, popularly called Barati, has called on Governor Fubara to represent the 2024 budget estimate before the Martin Amehula-led assembly. A statement by Mr. Irebu alleged that Governor Fubara is squandering Rivers' money without a budget, which he said is against Section 121 of the Constitution. On the shutdown of the finances of Rivers State by the Martin Amehula-led House of Assembly, Mr. Irebu said the move was in the right direction and in line with the provisions of the Constitution. According to him, the judgment of Justice Omotosho nullified the purported budget passed by Edison here, which he says makes it mandatory for Governor Fubara to represent the budget. He said those around the governor will desert him when the law begins to take its course. He further commended the Martin Amehula-led State House of Assembly for remaining steadfast, assuring it that Rivers people will keep standing with the Assembly. Now, on Monday, the Martin Amehula-led lawmakers declared a shutdown of expenditures of Governor Fubara until he presents his 2024 appropriation bill before them. They announced this during their sit-in following the end of the 7-day ultimatum they gave the governor last week. They said Governor Fubara is no longer allowed to approve or authorize funds from the state consolidated revenue account. They stated that ministries are also not permitted to spend public funds until the 2024 budget is presented to them. Recall that in December 2023, the governor signed the budget of 800 billion naira into law after presenting it before the then Edison Ehie-led assembly. In another development, Governor Fubara has promised to support the completion of the permanent site of the correctional center in Bori, Kana local government area. Governor Fubara said this when the House of Representatives Committee on Reformatory Institutions paid him a courtesy visit at the government house on Monday.
When these buildings were erected over 80 years ago, nobody envisaged that the number we have today will be there. I will mandate the Secretary to the State Government to go and assess what is going on there and liaise with the appropriate authority and see where we can come in to complete it, so that this issue of having a correctional center in the city, center of the city, which is not a good idea, at least we can solve that problem once and for all.
The governor also stressed the need for the National Assembly, the police, and the judiciary to carry out their duties to reduce congestion of the correctional centers.
An institution that we call police and an institution that we call the judiciary. Most of these issues that we're talking about, overcrowding of the prisons or correctional center, might be late or delay in their cases. The other aspect is you arrest somebody wrongfully or whatever, and the process of investigation takes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So we need to make sure that our institutions are functioning effectively.
Still to come, federal government says Nigerians can now obtain UAE visas. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The chairman of the Caretaker Committee of Ikwere Local Government Area, Darlington Orji, has constituted the Ikwere Local Government Area Revenue Committee. Dr. Orji, in a statement, said their appointment is with immediate effect and directed that all revenue of the council be paid into the council-designated revenue account. The statement also urged the general public to stop any dealings with the dissolved Revenue Committee, as defaulters will face the full weight of the law. The statement also called on security agencies to arrest and prosecute anyone found impersonating as a revenue agent of the council. According to the statement, Innocent Okeyema will serve as chairman of the Revenue Committee, Gordon Okwanda as secretary, Other members of the committee include Elvis Owewe, Prince Will MP, and Ayure Thanggod Ajoko. The statement also said that the Ikwere Council boss, Darlington Orji, also approved the payment of bursaries to Ikwere students in tertiary institutions. He, however, directed his SSA on student affairs, Rhino Okwokire, to immediately begin the collation of names of qualified students at State School 1, Alo, and all inquiries should be made through the following phone number 0703 353 0035. Moving on, the Caretaker Committee Chairman of Andoni Local Government Area of River State, Reginald Ekan, has set up a health intervention committee for effective response to the suspected cases of cholera in some communities of the local government area. The 5-member committee will work with the Public Health and Disease Control Department of the River State Ministry of Health to carry out aggressive health promotion and enlightenment across Andoni communities. Mr. Ekan announced the committee during a visit by officials of the State Ministry of Health at the instance of its Commissioner, Adezore.
So these are the 2 times we have this suspected case. So now, but it now behoves on me to say that let us partner with the states to have a synergy to out prevention, not as in any case, but to prevent if there could be any that will come up when we don't know, so that all of us will now feel the impact of government and then know that we really have a good man at the head of affairs in the state.
The leader of the delegation and Director of Public Health and Disease Control, Goldin Owonda, spoke to journalists after the engagement.
Andoni Local Government and the River State Ministry of Health. So we're going to set up a multi-sectoral committee which has input from various stakeholders with varying expertise. So we're going to have disease surveillance and notification officer. We're going to have people from RUWASA. We're going to have people from Ministry of Health. We're going to have people from case management. We're going to have people from surveillance. So all this put together, we're going to bring out the best in terms of expertise and skill to ensure that we can intervene in whatever outbreak is going on. Thank you, sir.
Also speaking, COVID-19 and IDSR State Technical Assistant WHO River State Office, Victor Oris Onyeri, said his team will bring international health expertise to facilitate health promotion exercise in the local government area. Members of the Andoni Health Intervention Committee include Iwan Orang as Chairman, Supervisor for Education, Ishmael John Idante as Member, Fred Uwiko Usende, Special Advisor on Medical Services, Napoleon Ada, Wash Manager, Andoni Local Government Area now, and Mbaba Mbatumu. The committee will have other members drawn from relevant health sectors in the state through the Ministry of Health. Away from that, the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the Liberation Movement for Good Governance has passed a vote of confidence on her national coordinator, Douglas Fabeke, who dumped the Labour Party for Young Progressive Party, YPP. The meeting, which was presided over by the state coordinator, Kingsley Onyekwere, had in attendance NEC members representing the 23 local government areas. Ms. Onyekwere said the NEC observed that Dr. Fabeke's political ideology will be best achieved through the YPP. In a speech, Dr. Fabeke thanked members of NEC for their support and promised to carry everyone along in his activities. He advised members to be ambassadors of good governance in their various local government areas and support the present administration to deliver the dividend of democracy to the people. He, however, announced that the second phase of the SMEs training will start tomorrow and the advanced leadership development training will come next month. In other news, the federal government says Nigerians can now obtain visas to the United Arab Emirates UAE. Catch the business news at 7 for details of this and more.
The Council of Chiefs and Elders, CDC,
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been seen for the first time since surviving an assassination attempt at the weekend. He is in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. He entered the hall to rapturous applause with a heavily bandaged ear. Mr. Trump became the Republican Party's official nominee earlier today after a formal counting of the delegates at the convention. Now, that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Norgay has denied meeting Governor Fubara over Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. In on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has a bandaged ear as he made his first appearance after assassination attempt. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Monyele. Many thanks for listening.